Hey guys, I haven't posted a video in a long time. I've kind of been missing in action, but just been doing so much this year. Trying to keep up with the gardens, planted way too much, harvesting like crazy. But I figured I'd show you. I'll try to get back into posting videos, but here's a quick aquaponics update. So this is a neglected aquaponics bed, and to be honest, it's just turned into a bit of a forest, which is kind of amazing. But you know, what we have going on here is, most of the tomatoes, except for the big one I brought in from the winter time, I grew over the winter, I just kind of plopped right in as just took the suckers and popped them in. That one's actually going slow. He's been in there a little while. But this is a black creme right here, which I did from sucker, and you can see this guy. He's already got some big ones coming on, climbing up. And that was a sucker about, gosh, it might have been 3 or 4 weeks ago. So this thing has shown amazingly ignorant growth. I've never seen that before. So he just took off. But then we got some green onions in here, which again I just plopped in. Basil, same thing. I just took the clippings from basil, stuck them in there, and they start shooting up. Basil is something that grows extremely well in aquaponics. Here's a big tomato back there. This is one I was growing over the winter that I brought out here. It was pretty much choking over the winter, and I brought it out here, and she just took off. And to give you some sort of a reference point, the stem down there, I guess the stem is about an inch, maybe an inch and a quarter in some places, but she's a really big stem. I just laid the whole stem down in the bed, so there's a whole extra foot of stem, including the roots that I just laid under the rocks, and it just took off. Growth is just amazing, so I've kind of been harvesting off this guy, and to be honest with you, I don't remember the variety. I can actually, let me see if I can find out, because what I noticed is, of course, again, like I said, I haven't been taking care of this bed, and this guy just grew, and she fell down back there, did what tomatoes do, vined. And you come back here and you got this monster tomato back here. In fact, let me see if I can go back there and get you a better view. Might have to call this one the Back to Eden Aquaponics, because I planted it and I left it. And it's funny, but this is the back of the bed. So she climbed up, and looks like she's actually got a tomato in the tree there. So it started trellising on this tree that's next to the bed. But back here we got some pretty decent monsters, and might have to wait. This guy's almost ready to come out, but she's just an ignorantly, oh no, she is ready to come out. Just a totally neglected tomato that is just doing really nice. And if I looked at that, that obviously is some sort of an heirloom. I don't know, that might actually be one of the black cremes, not really certain. But then she's got another one here, which is just splitting on me, because again, totally neglected. I've had so many tomatoes to eat this year. I'm going pretty crazy with tomatoes, which was the intent. And I've only planted half of what I even had, so I definitely went overboard on the seedlings, but not a bad thing. But the tomato, it's doing its thing, man. I tell you what, it's just going down there. She's getting heavy, she's splitting, and as she splits, those stems die, new stems come out, so you can see the ones turning brown, but the other ones still growing green. The other ones, they get a little brace, they take off here, shoot up, and starting to create some more. So she's just doing amazing. There's another big guy back here, which I'm not going to take her off. I'm pretty sure he's a black creme. But anyway, I'll take these guys, and this is actually the back of the bed. This tomato, I'm gonna let her go, drop them on the ground, back to Eden. But anyway, so let me walk around back to the other side. This is the back of the bed, which I'm actually currently deconstructing because we are moving, and so I got to take all this down and put it back up elsewhere. But anyway, this solar panel's got a whole bunch of grape tomatoes going crazy in there. I believe that's a Rutgers. Beds are totally overgrown, but that's okay. Like I said, back to Eden, lazy. I let some of the weeds grow in there, pull some out. There's some green peppers waking up. There's a sweet pepper over there. And I think that's another sweet banana right there. Got some marigolds hidden between there. And a bunch of other little funny stuff. Actually, I got a grapevine here that I tried to pull it up because it's a seeded vine. And that sucker came right back. So I'm going to have to do something with that. And I got to clean this bed up a little bit. This is just getting a little too bad. But you got tomatoes all in here. You got, I believe that's a Mr. Stripey. Over there you got a Rutgers. Right there I think you got a pineapple tomato. But got a whole lot of mess I'm cleaning up. But anyway, back to the bed here, which I might have to deconstruct. So the other things that are going on with this is I've got this squash here. I don't know what kind of squash it is, but I just took her and threw her up here on the solar panels. And as you can see, she's about to give me a little fruit there. So I'm just going to go ahead and let it trellis and do its thing up there. No big deal until I move the bed. Then I'll have to deal with it then. Swiss chard, just happy as can be. Been eating that one for lunch actually. Just been taking little bits and pieces here and there. Grab a tomato here or there and some peppers and making my lunch with it. But that's the one bed. Haven't really done anything with the rafts this year. I'm going to, but again, I got carried away. Started this business, and apparently people do like to learn how to grow organically, which is pretty awesome. I'm no genius. I don't know it all, but I know enough to help people get started. But here's another little bed I got here, and people say weeds don't grow in aquaponics. They're lying to you. They're certainly growing in aquaponics, but very, very easy to root. So instead of breaking the roots off, I can take the whole weed up and she's gone. So we're not going to go completely eating on these beds and let everything grow. And here's some tomatoes. I think I just stuck those in there. Some of those suckers. Actually, this one's a seed. I don't know what it is. I threw a bunch of seeds in here while I was in the indoor system in the rocks. Brought the rocks out here and they just started growing. I have no clue what it is. This here I believe is a squash. Don't know what kind. Just kind of threw them in there. Might be a butternut. This was my avocado, which I brought out here. And she didn't do too well because, like I said, I've totally been neglecting my aquaponics. And the bell siphons aren't working correctly. They're not going every 12 minutes. They're not timed. I didn't put the automation on. I just haven't had any time. But after I move the system and get it in its permanent place, which is going to be in one of the larger, I'm building two greenhouses, which are large to me, but building two big greenhouses. And there I'm going to put these beds over there permanent along with the one in the garage. So I'll have some real nice aquaponics to do year round instead of just the summertime stuff. So anyway, the avocado, she's doing okay. She's still getting bigger. Back here you got some celery I started from the grocery store stem, and I think some more celery back here. There's some green onion. There's another little squash just getting started. Again, it's the seed that was in there, and she's just taking off, starting to do her own thing. And again, all this is being run by the koi pond. I got my flowers over here. All this is being run by the koi pond over here, which has been a pretty amazing adventure this year. Can't really see the fish in there. In fact, let's see if I can feed them for you guys. Okay, so it's to prove to you there are fish in there. I guarantee you there's some fish. They're a little shy, but really haven't done a whole lot with these guys this year. So what's going on with the koi ponds is actually got a small business going building koi ponds. So that really is kind of taking my focus. But anyway, the aquaponics system is being run off of this system here, this koi pond, which, oh boy, if I could guess, I'd say it's probably about 600 gallons in this pond here, and then it's got a smaller aquatic area over there. I'll show you in a second. But it's just basically it's center blocks and wall caps I threw up here. Also threw a little netting. This is just to stop the koi from jumping out. I've got netting on this corner and I've got netting around on that corner, and the whole reason why is koi like to jump towards the water, so where the waterfall comes in here, they like to jump. So if I just net this side and that side, I don't have to worry about them jumping out. There's an orange tree right there I did some grafting on, which, oh Lord have mercy. Let's just say I don't know how to graft, and we'll leave it at that. And but I'm gonna figure that thing out. You guys are real smart. I just need to watch more of your videos, and I'll figure out my grafting. But so the other part of the system's over here. This is the aquatic part. So we're selling a lot of aquatic plants this year for koi ponds, and of course it's taken over the whole area here. So you got all kind of lettuce, which is great. These things, they divide like crazy. The hyacinth and the water lettuce, so you can see they're kind of like hens and chicks. You've got this little side shoots that come off. If you've got a koi pond, I'd recommend growing them. They get all old and beat up, but they divide like crazy. And when they do, I just take these suckers and I make sure I don't hit a tomato in there, and find a little spot, throw it in the bed. Tomato food. Oh, Lord have mercy. And this is where you see something that you just cannot tell the old lady and the kids, but I see a snake skin, and that's not a little snake skin. That's a decent sized snake skin, I think. I don't see that down there around the tomatoes. I don't know if I can reach in here and get it. I'm gonna try to do that without getting bit and without falling in. I think that's a decent sized snake skin in there. And I assume they drop those skins right around with, okay, so she's breaking off. But that's a little piece of it. I believe we've got see how big that is. We've got it's like maybe a 3-foot snake roaming around here. But anyway, that's another adventure. We won't go there. So here's another tomato bed I got. She's going real well. I'm pretty sure these are Mr. Stripey tomatoes. So we got some right there, looking real nice and doing their little sexy thing. But one thing that's pretty awesome, I noticed, yeah, if you look down in there, that is a tomato in the pond. So I don't know if I can get over there, but over here, I'll show you over here. What I was doing earlier, which I started a video and I didn't finish, is I was showing how my tomatoes are growing in the koi pond. So they come down in here, and that was a frog. Those are great for mosquitoes, but anyway, they come down in here and they root and they lift the tomato. It lifts the tomatoes, you know, on the stem right out of the water, which is pretty funny. Didn't expect that to happen. But so around my koi pond, apparently I got a snake, but I also got tomatoes. And if I can get a tomato out of there, I can probably show you where it landed in the water. It's doing its own little aquaponics. Oh wow, there's a big tomato down there. It's doing its own aquaponics and it's rooting and it's happy. So for the moment I'm leaving it alone. But anyway, that's the update I was going to give you guys. Way overgrown, whole lot to do, no time to do it in. So that's an update on a couple of these garden beds. I got about 10 other garden beds I got going. And I've got a greenhouse I got to bring down. My yard is just totally destroyed with all the growing I was doing. But here's a greenhouse half taken down. So you'll see a whole bunch of tomatoes in and throughout there. Swiss chard and different things. There's some broccoli down over there, some spinach, some more Swiss chard over here. I got my marigolds mixed in, so totally overgrown. Back to eating stuff. Here's one of my I'm sorry, I went a lot further. This is supposed to be an aquaponics update, but I wanted to show you my persimmons. Look at the color on that. That's my persimmon tomato. So far I'm not too excited on the flavor. Although I'm not sure I picked the ripe one. When they ripen, they turn that off-white orange color almost. So I'm not sure I picked the right one. Grabbed one this year. Wasn't excited about the flavor, but we'll give it another taste test. But anyway, so all of this has got to come down. I'm gonna use it for parts for one of the other 2 greenhouses I'm throwing together. But anyway, tons and tons to do. Not enough time. There's only one of me. Yeah, I still got tomatoes, and yes, I'm still planting. Believe it or not, I'm actually putting in my red Siberians now because it's almost fall, and I want to see what my red Siberians are going to do in the winter. So just comparing against some of the other tomatoes. But still got tons of tomatoes, man. I can't give these things away. If you live anywhere near northeast, in the northeast, Pennsylvania, Philadelphia area, come grab all the tomatoes you want. I don't know what to do with them, so I'm gonna stick as many of them as I can in the new aquaponics systems and the greenhouse, and we'll see what happens. But anyway, just a quick update. That's what's going on. Lots to do, a lot of fun. Had a really amazing harvest this year, as my records go anyways. Definitely the most tomatoes I've ever harvested. Peppers were a little slower, only because the slugs. But I'll take you over to the other gardens in maybe another few days and kind of show you what's happening in some more of the bigger beds. But this is what's happening around the greenhouse. Thanks for watching.